What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It is the KooLNerdz Lounge. And what's up, everybody? We got some guests with us today. And we're going to be talking about a graphic novel that's going to be coming out, and it's on Kickstarter. It's called Sahael. And it's going to be part 1 and volume 1. And today with us, we have the creator, Dwayne Madry. Is that how you say your name, sir?
Madry.
All right. Madry. And we have Damon Bowie, who has been on the show before. You guys know him, his artwork that I have presented on the KooLNerdz Lounge in the past. And he's with us as well. So Dwayne is the brainchild behind Sahael. And the artistry that you'll see is from Damon Bowie. So we're going to start off with Dwayne. Dwayne, introduce yourself to all the KooLNerdz out there.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, my name's Dwayne Madry, creator of Sahael. A little bit about me. Loved comics growing up. Loved from an educational standpoint, master's in chemistry and history, but loved history and learned to read between the lines and understand things more so and the nuances. With that said, incorporate that into my stories. But with that said, yeah, that's my name's Dwayne, and I'm happy to be here to be among my fellow passionate nerds.
Cool. And we have Damon Bowie. As you know, I got about 100-something pieces of his artwork. And if you see that picture back there, that's courtesy of Mr. Bowie himself. So I've been knowing this man for about 13 years now, I think. And a really good man, really, really great man. And Mr. Bowie, introduce yourself again to KooLNerdz.
Yes, sir. The Damon Bowie here. I'm not a stranger to the KooLNerdz Lounge. I'm an illustrator out of New Orleans. I got into a long time profession of doing illustrations for a major company that builds 3Ds for entertainment. A lot of you guys may know that I designed the parades in Mardi Gras in New Orleans for 23 years, and now retired to move on to my vaunted passion, which was comic pop culture illustration. Done some work professionally within the Comic-Con space, the comic book space, and now is loving touring the United States at various pop culture shows to showcase our work and sell it as an exclusive brand now. And just happy to be back and see what the KooLNerdz up to.
Cool. And that's a good segue, man. What have the KooLNerdz been up to lately? So before we get into the book, most of us, DJ Hurt, Redeemer, and myself, along with DJ Dante, we all visited Fan Expo. Now in Chicago, that used to be Wizard World.
Right.
And this is another event that I go to annually, in addition to, of course, C2E2. and we got to go get some autographs and whatnot, and meet some of our childhood heroes from the movies and things of that nature. The voice actors of Megatron and Optimus Prime. We got to meet Mr. T-1000 himself. Linda Hamilton was there. Plenty of other people, and I'm gonna share some of our experiences that we had there this weekend, and then we're gonna get into the book. But yeah, we always like to go to those conventions. But right out the gate, I'll be remiss if I didn't do this, and I think he deserves it, because if any of us grew up watching the WWF back in the day, we remember Sid Vicious, and unfortunately he has passed away from what is being put out there at 64 years old. So rest in peace, Sid. Rest in peace, Sid, man. 64 is really young, to be honest with you. Yeah. But one of our childhood memories of seeing this big fella on the big screen wrestling in what was then the WWF, now the WWE. So again, rest in peace to him. I want to get to people in the chat. Random Korean, how you doing, brother? You got DJ Hercules in 2 places at one time. We got my man Jesse Hernandez, Gabriel Gutierrez. How you feeling, man? We got Your Vision. We got my man Benny Vogel. What's going on, Benny Vogel, man? How you doing, man? Appreciate y'all commenting in the chat. Jose Alicia, how you feeling, brother? And Jomo is here in 2 places one time, as well as Redeemer and other people out there, man. We appreciate you for being here with us on this Monday evening. So let me pull up some of the pictures from the event. Yes. Let me pull up some pictures. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So how do we get around? How do I get around? Well, that's my cart right here. So when you out here trying to get autographs, man, at a fan expo, you got to come prepared. And then you'll see this box here. That was a T-1000 life-size head sculpt that I got signed by Robert Patrick. And that's a Boba Fett helmet. I didn't get that one signed. I got something else signed instead. But under here is my shirts. So when I do photo ops, I always have my shirts folded up, ready to go. And I just switch when it's time to go to the next person. Over the years, I've learned to be prepared. Okay, this is Ben McKenzie. He played Jim Gordon in the Gotham series. I had this DC figure, statue, and he was impressed with it. He took a selfie with it, and then he had me take a picture, and he signed the base. Really cool dude here. He's really cool, man. Ben McKenzie. He wasn't that expensive. And of course, this is Robert Patrick, and that is the life-size bust mask that I got signed of the T-1000. He was real cool. He also had me take a picture of him with it, and he signed it on the collar here. As you see, he signed it right there on the collar, which is real cool. So then I got Linda Hamilton, who was next to him, to sign
very cool
other collar. So and it was crazy because he said, Linda, look, I bet you don't got one of these. So that was pretty cool. This is Gina Carano. I was waiting in line for her signature. Real sweet person. Like everybody who walked up to her, she was like holding their hands, having a conversation with them. And she was really nice, man. She got done wrong by Disney. It is what it is. But this is her signing the glove. If you didn't know, she was in a MMA. She got a record of 7-3. This is her signing. These are metal plates I get signed. So I got a Cara Dune figure from Sideshow, a statue, and I had her signing in orange.
Gina Carano, Cara Dune.
Yeah.
Straight badass.
Yeah, she was cool. And this is what's his name again? Mira Morrison.
Tamara Morrison.
Tamira. And he plays Boba Fett in a new series. He was pretty cool. He's a very small guy in person. I was surprised by his stature, but he was real cool. He signed my plate for 2 Hot Toys that I got. Real cool,
In the
dude.
middle there, right?
Yep. This is the Hot Toy figures.
Yep.
You probably own them, right? You didn't buy any?
Yeah, they don't be buying this stuff. And this is the voice actor for this is Frank Welker, the voice actor for
Megatron.
Megatron. He was cool, real cool, man. Had a good signature too, man.
All right, sir. This is for a Prime 1. Have that displayed in front of it. Purple is the color I think it looks good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got to work on there?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Alrighty. Okay.
Yeah, Frank Welker.
Oh,
was-
Yeah, that looks good.
Look at you.
Woo, man, you got nice penmanship too. They don't teach cursive.
And that's me. I took a photo out with those guys, Frank Welker and Peter Cullen. And Peter Cullen, the shorter one, is of course Optimus Prime. I was able to get a hold of a VIP. So the last day that I went, I breezed through. Shout out to my friend who could not attend the third day, and he hooked me up. Man, I'm buying VIP every time now. You move through faster. This is Linda Hamilton.
Oh my God, I can see you through it.
She said, "What am I doing, darling?"
Right here on that collar, maybe like your name and then maybe Sarah. Yeah, oh my God, this is crazy.
And she was cool too.
This is bananas.
She was kissing people on the cheek and stuff.
Oh,
Hey, she had big fans, man.
Running from that guy for a whole movie, right?
yeah. Don't kiss me though. Not her.
But she was really,
You're so terrible.
Side collectibles is amazing.
she was definitely a sweetheart. This is me and Gina Carano. She's pretty stout. Yeah, and she was real cool. So I took 2 pictures with her. She was real nice. She said I had pretty eyes, man.
I thought she complimented all the white boys that day.
My guys was hating. We keeping certain things to a limit, man. Christian, Hayden Christensen, real smooth, man. Real laid back, man. He's got a very calm demeanor, this dude. So
Yes,
I
he
was able
does.
to get a picture with him with that Because of Obi-Wan shirt, and I got on my KooLNerdz hat. I didn't have my hat on at first. When I walked in, I saw him with a hat on. I said, well, I'm gonna wear a hat, you know. So he was cool. And then since Mark Hamill was charging $500 and $600 for photo ops and autographs, I took a picture with
Go ahead.
this guy, and his name is Duke Lightwalker. You know, yeah, the bootleg version of Luke Skywalker, Duke Lightwalker. So I was happy to get the picture for free, ladies and gentlemen, for free. That's Peter Cullen signed him. I had to get this re-signed, so I brought alcohol wipes with me. The first signature was with a paint pen. It didn't come out right, and he was happy to sign it again. This is the Premium Collectible Studios, Ghostface from Scream. And I got that signed by Billy and Stu, Matthew Lillard, and Skeet Ulrich. So they both signed that on the base. Matthew Lillard was a busy line, but this was a really cool, personable cat, man. And his line stayed busy. I know he made some money. And here's all the plates that I got signed, and I got them authenticated by JSA. Okay. So I'm gonna go back and share some pictures that my uncle took. Now, he was cooler this day. My uncle got this picture with that leather jacket. I need to get one of those. So he signed this for my aunt, the helmet. This is Gina Carano. She signed this for my aunt. And yeah, And then he took a picture with this young lady from Gotham, and she's also on Deadpool as his love interest. And say her name.
Morena Baccarin.
Yeah, and she wants to play Catwoman. That's what she said lately. And then we have him with Gina Carano, and this is a funny story. So he goes in there, and she says, "Oh man, you're built. I like your shape." And then one of the cool nerds replied, "Round is the shape." I ain't gonna say what he said.
Hater. Hey, y'all know who the hater is.
I did not say that.
Hey, she was rubbing the sexy one pack. Don't hate on that.
Hey, I told him I got him blackmailed. I will send this to his wife if he ever.
Hey, you know what? No lie. She said, "Why is her hand on your belly?"
Yeah. So
pumpkin head.
I'm gonna put. Yeah. So we have fun, man, when we go out there. We just a bunch of kids at heart, and now I'm gonna pull up some pictures shared by my man DJ Hurt. Just a second, but I just want y'all to talk real quick about it, man. How was your experience there? How did you like Fan Expo this year?
I liked it because it seemed a little bit more organized than as opposed to last year when we went Fatal, because last year we were kind of like it wasn't as organized, but it was still tremendously crowded. The space, the venue that they have it at, it's a very small venue in comparison to C2E2, which is the other con that we usually go to early in the summer or spring. Yeah. But overall experience, Fan Expo, which is aka used to be Wizard World, has more celebrities come because I think they still have those contracts with them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how was your? Well, I thought it was extremely busy, and Saturday was just diabolical. It was. I mean, I couldn't even hardly park, man. So I was not happy. But then the second day went good with that. When I had that VIP pass, it's worth the extra money. How was your time, DJ Hurt?
In the words of the great philosopher Anton, hated it. I went for one reason and one reason alone, and that was to meet Giancarlo Esposito. And this man was not
Giancarlo Esposito.
Whatever. Plugging out. Golf Gideon, whatever. And he didn't start his pictures until 8:20. I got there at 4:45. So I literally walked around the place. But if you're really into Funko Pop stuff, they had a gazillion of them. They had everything. All the Funkos you can think of, they had. They didn't have a lot of action figures. They did have some. Oh, now you see that T-shirt I got on? That T-shirt is on sale. Well, actually, not that one's a different one, but it's similar to that. It's on sale at DJHercules.com. However,
love this shirt, brother. And you got one waiting for me. Why you should have brought this set?
I didn't even think about it, bro. I was so upset on Saturday. You already know I was mad on Saturday. I didn't even think about it.
But we got you looking good with that setup.
For sure.
So this was you and Giancarlo Esposito. I met him last year, and I had on a school day shirt. And when I asked him how you pronounce his name, that's how he told me. He said it's Giancarlo Esposito.
I'm always gonna pronounce it wrong, because if that's how it's pronounced, he could just spell it a different way.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. So here goes some shirts that are also on sale at the website. The usual suspect KooLNerdz shirt. This is us. The Ayo Sal Put Some Brothers on the Wall shirt. This is another version of it. He's got
now that is Isaiah. That is Isaiah Bradley. That is the Black Captain America. Mm-hmm. All right. They have a version of him in the movie, and they had a version of him in Cap in the Winter Soldier. I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier. But that's how he originally was in the comic books. And show them the back of the shirt. That's the back of the shirt.
Yeah. So y'all can find that on the website.
That is my Thanos 2024 presidential nominee shirt. Half these MFs gotta go.
And there you have it, ladies and gents.
And on the back, there's a beautiful picture of Thanos.
And this is the gear that some of us are wearing tonight. I got on my KooLNerdz Lounge shirt. This is the crew, the original Chicago crew. We also got brothers in other states, West Coast, East Coast, and in the South, the dirty.
And for those of y'all who love Jesus like I do, here is our Trust God and Chill shirt. Yes, I do it all, y'all. T-shirts for everybody.
Yeah.
For everybody. Come to DJ
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I might have to get some of these for me and my wife, but you're gonna have to put a light-skinned brother. I'm sorry.
Hey, bro, I don't do beige rage. Okay, I don't do beige rage.
Hey, man, you got. Hey, man, look. I mean, I love my brown-skinned brothers all day. My wife, my chocolate, beautiful wife. So this one's perfect for her.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm gonna need me. You know, somebody to look like me, man.
All right, let me see.
Put this guy on there, right there in the middle. Put him on there. You can do that.
You don't
Help me
sell
out.
real, brother. I'm sorry. I did
Hey, man, no, this is a one-shot shirt.
a one-shot shirt.
Yeah, do that for me, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, we got gear. And when I say we got brothers, you know, all over the globe, we do. You know, KooLNerdz extends beyond Chicago, and we got a coalition of brothers that, you know, are all around the globe. This is the coalition. We got the Constructive Outrage crew, the KooLNerdz Lounge brothers, and we got the BBC crew.
The
And we call
Broke
them-
Nerds Coalition.
Yeah, we got the definitely the coalition here, man. So just wanted to put that out there, man. We love all our brothers, and we got more people that we are connected to in this hobby of ours that brought us together, which is a beautiful thing. And you'll see us at Collector Zone next year, August 7th through the 11th, I think. 7th is going to be StatueCon 2.0. Can't wait for that. I think I'm going to bring the family. Matter of fact, you know, Damon, Dwayne, if you into statues and stuff like that, collectibles, it's so sweet, man. It's in St. Joseph, Michigan, and it's a great event. And yeah, respect the light skinned brother. That's what up, she. But anyway.
Hey man, hey, Darth Rashid, don't encourage that narrative, okay? We're not selling that narrative on this channel, okay, brother? Do not encourage him.
Let the hate flow through you.
Yes.
But we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into it. Sahael, I'm hoping I'm saying it right that time. I think I got it. And we're gonna bring up this picture right out the gate. Boom. And there we have it. Now it is your turn, Mr. Dwayne, to talk about this beautifully illustrated graphic novel. This will be part 1, volume 1. You can find it on Kickstarter. Tell us about it, my brother.
Definitely love to tell you about it. So I guess before we begin, obviously that continent we all know today is Africa. However, prior to colonial intervention, this was called Alkebulan. And there's some things you're going to notice about this continent. Obviously, there are islands around it, and those islands play a pivotal part. But if you zoom in to the very center, this is where the story starts. You see how, so this is how the story starts. Allow me to introduce the story. So how it happened. Well, before I even get to this part, this is a map I made. And even though the story was already written, I didn't have the illustrated version written until I had met Damon. And that's a story in and of itself, which I think we'll get into, because he was trying to avoid me with all his heart, and I wouldn't let it happen. So But with that said, how this story starts is there are people who are in a planet called Kolob, and they had to escape their planet. And there's a backstory and a history to that. And what they designed a ship disguised as an asteroid called Niathara's asteroid, and it pierced the atmosphere of Ard, which is this world called Ard. Broke off into 12 pieces, but the 12 additional pieces, but the largest asteroid struck here in the center of Alkebulon, creating a crater and a floating island in the very center. And that became known as, Sahael. Why? Because inside of that crater were the ancient Kemites. And when they first came to this world that was created by Ishtar and Obatala, they had these white spacesuits, and they took them off and they started dying. So the gods of this world, Ishtar and Obatala, descended in mingled bloodlines, thus creating the bloodlines of Sahael. And so this upset their son Nodus, which is Satan spelled backwards. So what happened is he was upset that their bloodline was no longer pure. And so there's a story that happens where he comes in and disperses the bloodline, or as I know to say, the diaspora all over the world. So when you see this story, it's about the diaspora coming home, but there are 5 signs. And 4 of these 5 signs are centered around the 4 stories, which you're going to learn about, which we'll touch on today. You see there, that's that map. That's one, it's one of the main maps of Alkebulon. So we have map 1, map 2, but I've taken this map here, and it's just blown up as a section within the map of itself to explain one section of where the first 7 of the 7 volumes take place. And this is a 15-volume series.
Got it. Okay. So you like me to share some other pictures, right? Okay. The bloodlines of Sahael.
Yeah, so these is the 4 princess. These are the 4 queens that you're going to read about. Obviously, the one in the middle, she's a black albino. And these other 3, these are the queens, and you're going to read about them throughout this whole entire process as they perform functions that are somewhat different, but make them stand out.
Nice. Let me go to the comment section. Okay. Oh, that's something different. Keep on.
Okay. So, how the story unfolds is, and let me give you some background on these 4 women. So one is from the Orisha, one is from the Yoruba, one is from the Hausa, and one is from the Dumerian. So Orishan, she has blue eyes. Now, when she blinks them twice, they turn cerulean. They light up, as do the tattoos on her arm. And she has the ability to conjure up weapons, and then there's the one has green eyes of the Yoruba. Same thing. She blinks them twice, they turn Zambian, and her tattoos light up. She can conjure weapons as well. And then there's one with gray eyes. She has wings, actually. She's of the Hausa, and her eyes turn gray when she blinks them twice. And then the one I probably took a year and a half to write was volume 4, the Dumerians. They are black albinos, and they have turquoise colored eyes. When they blink twice, they turn magnesite, and their tattoos light up. So what's the difference between all 4 of these? Well, the one with blue can see through the eyes of the fish, control hydrokinesis. The one with green, see through the animals of the forest. The one with gray can see through the birds in the sky. And the one with turquoise can see through the dead. So,
we got a question in the chat.
So he says, there any historical righteous? Yes, everything in here is historical, but I knew if I told the truth, I may wind up dead somewhere. So I had to. So I figured I would add a fantasy element to it to make it digestible.
Okay, all right, I can dig it.
Some of us.
Now Ram says this looks dope.
Some of us know the history, though. Trust me. You just named four tribes of Nigeria: the Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba.
Yes,
And they are black albinos there. I was there.
correct. I had to give the black albinos a different name for specific reasons.
Yes.
You'll come to realize in volume 14.
And your illustration actually can be found in one of the 800 lost Bibles, but I'll leave that alone.
I know where you're going. So,
See, and that's why we got you here, Jomo. See?
So
That's
how
all
this
it
all came about, illustration, was I saw Damon here in Fan X here at Utah. And I remember waking up that day and, you know, I have I feel like I have a good, strong base of my faith with God. And one day I felt this prompting, you need to go to Fan X. And I said, I don't want to go. And then my best friend called me and goes, hey, I have an extra pass. You want to come down to Fan X? I'm like, really? So I came down. And I remember walking the whole entire floor because I was looking for an artist. I'm here to look for an artist. That's the prompting. And I remember walking by Damon's booth and I saw the art. It was just magical. It popped. And I'm like, what is this? There's something about this. And I'm like, this is who I'm supposed to talk to. And he saw me. I saw him. I left. I came back. He saw me again. A couple hours, came back. And then I just said, I saw him by himself. And I pounced. He'll tell you more. I told him about this vision I had, and he was sold. And here we are. I don't know, Damon, you want to tell more about it?
Yeah, well, the parts he's leaving out are, and you guys have the distinction of knowing the one person who, prior to, I want to say 2014, could get any independent or freelance art out of me. I simply don't do it as a practice. I'm phenomenally busy with the work I currently have. Some of that was, doing work upper deck outside of my own business interests, and I'm not even doing that work anymore. And so Fatal had approached me about a couple of commissions, some of which is hanging in his studio. And he can tell you that I charge a pretty good penny for my services. And that's if I'm in a position to even take on the project, just given there's a flow to what I do. And oftentimes when people ask you to do something from out of your flow, it's a very hard thing to recapture. So when I get into a flow, I will literally do 5-6 pieces in a sitting. And by a sitting, I just mean over the course of a few days, only stopping to sleep. And so someone comes in and you already have a plan and they want some specific art, and it kind of takes you out of your groove. And so for that reason, and I'm prolific in that, and both Redeemer and Fatal could attest to this. When you see me in Chicago at C2E2 one year, the very next year, my work is 95% new. Most artists in a calendar year don't turn over that amount of work. And so it's a necessity that I kind of stay on task. And so but the things that Fatal wanted were really interesting to me, and there were things that I wanted to explore. And we developed a brotherhood, and I wanted to facilitate some of what he wanted. So he also, knowing how rare these commissions are, I have a policy at my booth when my sales staff is asked to, if I do commissions, the answer is no. And so what Dwayne is not telling you guys is that he had already been to my booth when my staff was on instruction. Does he do commissions? No. And so I'm behind the space, not really accessible. And staff made me aware that we had sold out of some things that were at the front, and that I needed to go assess the front and see what I might couple the collection with to replace the things that have sold out. And so I'm out front of the booth. I'm kind of scanning it, and I'm calling out different subject matter for staff to replace the stuff we sold out of. And this guy walks right up on me, uncomfortably close, in fact. And he says, "Do you do commissions?" And I immediately looked at the staff, and she gave me a look like I already told him. And I said, "You know what? I said, I don't do commissions," and I explained why. I said, "I actually have two Marvel projects. If you have any, I have two Marvel projects on my desk at home now that I haven't done. They've been there since last September, and the con that he met me at in Salt Lake City is in September. So it's been a full year." And I said, "If I'm not doing those projects, what do you think I'm going to say to your project?" And he said, "Well, at least give me a chance to tell you what it's about." And he got into the story, and I said, "Well, you see, now I'm a bit intrigued, and I'm willing to hear more." And actually, the writer, the person, Steve Human, who adapted the novel to script for graphic novels, he brought back to me, and we spoke a little bit, and I was intrigued. So we traded information, but the around the main issue is the fact that I'm typically not in that space, or at least the headspace to do a project like this, particularly even more so, particularly graphic work, sequentials and so forth. I haven't done sequentials in 14 years, and that was on purpose because it's very tedious, very labor intensive work. And so and then primarily for other publishers, it could be a real problem because there's so much other layers that you have to reconcile with people who have a thought process that's beyond yours. And the other thing I enjoyed about this was that I got to be effectively the launch board, the sounding board, and then the more or less the final say over what the creative looked like, because I wouldn't do it any other way. We didn't want to do just your standard pen and ink drop color. We wanted to approach it in a way that was going to leave a mark artistically, creatively, and on the note for what the story was deserving.
And what you're seeing me share is some of the artwork from this graphic novel. The artwork is Damon Bowie. The brainchild is Dwayne. And as I'm going through these pictures, Dwayne,
Yeah.
you can talk about what we're looking at.
Yeah. So what you're seeing here is this is Erishkigal. Okay. She is one of the four queens. There's a high queen. There's the great queen, Nergal. There's the queen of Sahael. And then there's also the regent queen. She's one of those four. What you see here is Sahael has been attacked by Nodus. And so what Nodus is doing, he wants to exterminate this bloodline, the chosen bloodline. Why? Because, again, he wants to keep his bloodline pure. So he grabbed a group of Narsans who I modeled after the Nazis. Okay, so rather than create a swastika, I turned that swastika into a square with an airship in the middle. So they're invading with their airships and their Narsan speeders and whatnot. The mothers are in a room trying to save their daughters. 3 of the 4 mothers and 3 of the 4 daughters are in the room. She's trying to save them. So she blinks her eyes twice to see through the eyes of the bird in the sky, and she sees Sahael burning. She sees Nodus and his minions coming up the steps into Sahael, wanting to destroy and find them. They have to find their daughters because, again, as you know, from biblical stance, nations are formed in the wombs of women. And so with that said, he's trying to sever this before it even starts. So that's what you see here.
Question from DJ Herc is, how did you come up with the concept, and what was Damon's inspiration for the look?
So the concept was, I developed the concept when I was 16 years old. So I remember just watching, as I grew up from 16 till, maybe 28, I had been writing my whole entire story out. And so I took the concept, I wanted to merge 4 or 5 franchises into one, if you will, or like certain derivatives of those. And so one of them was, I loved Lord of the Rings, and I loved the lore it provided, but it was very Eurocentric. And I'm like, and when you dig deeper, who the orcs represent, but we ain't gonna get into that. And then I loved Star Wars, and I loved that story, and I loved that concept, and then I liked Harry Potter, I liked Game of Thrones. So I said, you know what, I'm going to combine all this into one and make Sahael and make it unique. So I was able to, over the years, write 6,000 pages front and back of just paper. And it wasn't until COVID I took it all and put it on digital, rewriting the whole thing, and had 15 volumes, over 85 books, and another 26 side stories.
Man, that's a lot. But 16, I don't know if you in our age group, we all 40 and up on here.
I'm 43.
You 40 what?
43.
All right, cool. You in our age group. So 16, that's, you're talking about almost 3 decades of a brainchild that's coming to fruition.
Correct.
That's amazing, man. Because when you say 85 books, did you say 85 books?
85 plus.
Man, that's a lot, man. That is a lot, man. That's a lot. And then when you got to do artwork to it, I'm pretty sure this is why Damon is reluctant, because it's a lot of work too. So when you have to bring that stuff to life in art form, all those words, man, that's a lot of work that goes into this, ladies and gentlemen. Like, graphic novels is extremely labor intensive. The writing, the art, the getting it published, printed, this stuff is not easy. So we have to commend these brothers for what they have done here, to give us some new stories.
Well, and if I may, the driving force behind it was, growing up, I didn't see, our home was kind of like the United Nations before you went to school on Friday. Richard Corbin vibes, we'll touch on that. So when it, black, white, Chinese, Polynesian, everyone was over at our house before we went. And we used to watch X-Men, Justice League. We watched it all, Avengers, and it dawned on me, only one of those characters was black, and like Israel series, and that bugged me. And I remember going to my mom and I was just like, someone needs to do something. As kids, you say, someone needs to do something, because I didn't want to. And then months later, I came back. She's like, sounds like you're going to have to. So the inspiration behind this was to create a world in which it was so rich and so intense and so moving that it was impossible to deny once it got into the right hands.
Yeah. And to answer DJ Hercules' question about inspiration for the art, Ali, this is the first time Dwayne is telling me the things that inspired him to even write. The things that kind of set the tone for me on the creative is, once I started to review the script and the basic outline, it reminded me a lot of the treatise that Wakanda kind of stirred up, and not only the Black community, but all of the other communities that were spectators to that phenomenon. When that happened, when you started to see all these hierarchies that established a very rich and royal pride, and so it gave me that Wakanda note. But then on another level, it also reminded me of some of the legacy that's represented in Dune, and that's effectively how I coined the phrase "Wakanda meets Dune," because it's got a sci-fi element to it, but it has a very rich tradition as far as how we understand the societal hierarchies, many of the tropes that suggest regency and nobility and honor, and so that influenced how I looked at it. But then the overarching thing for me across the board was that I did not want to lay this book out in a way that was, for instance, and it's the perfect page for you to have up. I didn't want to do something that was formulaic for panel layout. Typically, folks have they used to contain a panel, do your typical Z formation layout for a comic page, and that's fine for as far as narrative and storytelling. But the scope of what I was reading, I was very impressed with, to the point where we couldn't approach this in a typical way. We had to approach it in a way that was cinematic, and it simply will not be contained within your usual format for how you lay out a comic page. And so I saw parts and pieces breaking the planes, um, action that was right up in your face, um, and all of those elements, because it's the way you would actually storyboard a movie as opposed to story graphic novel. Um, and I think it lends towards what I ultimately see, and I think Dwayne sees this as well, and anyone who's watching the book will probably see the possibility that this could be optioned into something like a series, like a Dune or a Black Panther series, Star Wars. This is ripe for that type, and so striking the note, keeping whatever licensor comes knocking honest, because the book has established what the look is and how true to it and how true to the story. Then, and there's another element here too um, that brought inspiration. I didn't encounter it till later on, because unlike a lot of folks, they'll do a complete read through. I get a sense of the narrative from start to finish, and that kind of lays me with a base foundation for being creative. But I don't literally dig into every single word or every single panel until I actually draw the page, because I want it to be a very fresh and organic process. And I don't want anything else in the book that happens later to necessarily influence what I'm doing on the current page. And I discovered something about, I would say about 60% in, and I actually had to call uh, the fellow named Kevin White, who is he's the chief marketing officer and the president of the Sahael group, and to tell him what I surmised from what I had been reading. And he said, "Oh, you got it. You figured it out." So there's a massive twist that answers a question that you guys asked early. I won't let on, other than, is there a historical reference to what this story is not only based on but pushing? Um, and I think it's not only a pleasant surprise. You get that feeling, that I would say sinking feeling, because that's what it feels like when you realize what's going on, and then there's an immediate upliftment that happens when you understand the scope of what it's suggesting. And um and I'm not even using hyperbole here. It is that profound, um and honestly is what kept me on the project for future iterations, because it's that special. And so all of that work together to um give me a vision for how this world would be laid out, what the look was. Again, very use of dramatic blacks, um, and the way that the lighting is forced. All of that is to create mood, and because because of the way the script is written, the way the books were written and put together, we have to have a very visceral cinematic experience when flipping through this book.
All right, so this character right here, standing, the man,
Natas.
Natas. That's Natas.
Correct.
Yeah.
Satan spelled backwards.
Spelled backwards. That's Natas. Okay. Some great art. Great storyline. And I can already tell it's got some deep biblical ties to it, because I mean, even where if people really know the Bible, they know where it started. But we're not gonna get into the deep discussion on that because this is about this book particularly. But I know because I study, and I know where it all started.
But let me tell you about this photo here. So you see the 3 queens. You see 3 of the 4 queens, and that's designed for a reason. Okay. When you get to volume 4, you'll understand why when you read about the 4th queen and her daughter. I'll just leave you at that. And that's
Okay. Because I was going to ask a question. Now,
go ahead.
Is the eye color intentional?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Would you like? I can answer that question. Give you a little tidbit. They were born blind.
Ah, all right. So I'm like, hey, this chick got green eyes, man. What's going on around here?
But if you go to Africa,
they all have those color of eyes.
All right, well. only black woman I've ever seen with green eyes was chick with contacts. So
no,
that's not true.
But Tyra Banks,
I've ever seen.
You never saw Tyra Banks?
I've ever seen.
You've never seen Tyra Banks.
Those ain't really green, bro. Not like that.
You never seen Stacey Dash.
Those ain't green, bro.
Okay.
Aborigines have blue and green eyes.
I got a question that okay, you mentioned queens. So
and keep this slide.
Where are the kings?
Where are the kings?
Oh, right here. Where you want to here?
Go back to that last one and I'll explain that one. So you asked about the 4 kings. Well, you'll read about the 4 kings in volume 2, book 1.
So which slide you want? This one?
Yeah, start this one first. So you see the 3 of queens, and this slide is pivotal. So imagine your mothers in a room, you're being hunted, and they have to come up with a way to save your sisters. Okay? And they were each given, obviously their husbands had given them rings to show that they were married, as you can see here. Of course, they're going to give both sets of those rings to their daughters because I call those Nejiru's rings and Nebiaru's bracelets. And there's a reason why those play a pivotal role, because these girls at the time are a certain age. And when they come of a certain age, this power that you see is going to unlock something within them, which creates a yearning for them to want to go home. And this is where the mothers realize a sacrifice is imminent so that their essence can save their own daughters.
Okay. I can dig it. I can dig it.
Okay. We're going to go to the slide that's, I think, adjacent to that.
So I love this one because when you first read the story, you're going to see the High Queen Nergal, okay? She's actually, and I'm sure you've all familiar with the Watchers, the Anunnaki, the Nephilim, and all of them. She's one of the Watchers, by the way, okay? With that said, they come into the secret room where they all meet because something is happening. And this is where the rings on both of their fingers. So you saw on one slide, you saw one ring on each finger. Now you're seeing 2 rings. There's a reason why, and it has to do with the 4 kings. And again, the story is deeply interwoven. And once you get there, you'll understand why all this is necessary. Why it took so many years to get it right with writing and whatnot. So you're seeing something here. And when you read it, you'll understand why this is pivotal. And so when you see, these, I wanted to show strong Black women because there's a stereotype, and I wanted to embrace that because it's okay to be a strong Black woman. Okay, and this is what you see here with their daughters.
All right. Cool.
What do we have here?
So this is, yeah, if you click on that one, this is where it all starts. Where your arrow's at right there. This is where it all starts. So if you look, you see the airships above. They're invading Sahael. She's got 3 babies. One on her hip, she's holding one, her own child, and one on her back. She's carrying all 3 of them. She, you know what I mean? She's running through the palace as it's being destroyed. And when she gets to the secret room, she sees the marula tree. And the marula tree is something that is very, very pivotal throughout this whole entire series. The one thing you'll know about the marula tree is its branches. These branches represent the 12 bloodlines. Okay, that were, and when I, of the diaspora. So let me give you some background on that diaspora. So I have a master's in history. So as we all know, Alkebulan, Africa was exploited for its resources and its people. Thousands of nations came in to Africa. Okay, as they came in, they didn't take just its resources, they took its people too. Therefore, scattering the diaspora all over the world. So you see these diaspora all over the world. And so as you've seen today, and what you will see in the stories, you get different nations of diaspora to create division and no unity. You're going to see all of that. But these 4 have the ability to unite all 12 of those bloodlines to fulfill that marula tree to get back to Sahael. So there's 4 signs. One sign has to do with water. So obviously, when you read another, one of the signs has to do with water. It reverses the currents. Another sign creates earthquakes. One creates tornadoes and windstorms, and the other creates mudslides. All associated with each of these 4 girls, the princesses.
Nice.
Well, all right, I can dig it.
Okay, this looks like some slavery going on right here.
So let me say this, and Damon touched on this. Damon, do you want to touch on that? Let me give.
No, I don't. Actually, I don't want to touch on it, Dwayne. The whole point is to let it sneak up.
Exactly.
Sometimes you wanna. This is almost like a spoiler, and I'm not spoiling
You're
it.
right, it is.
The point is let it do its thing.
Agreed.
Because I'm that guy, I was asked the other day, why don't you post your schedule? Well, I just appear, and you're surprised, and then you're going to spend your money. So I don't want to ruin that feeling I had when I discovered what was going on. And if you elaborate too long on this,
I won't. That's why I defer to you. But this is not one of those stories, as Damon said, this is, you see stories about slaves and all this. This is not that type of story. I can promise you that. But this, but yeah, you saw this.
You talked about these astronauts in the beginning.
Yeah. They arrived in their white spacesuits, those. Now, the cool thing you'll like is, these the main asteroid struck in Alkebulan, but the 12 other the 12 others hit everywhere else, creating additional floating islands. So that's something to look into. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's all I'll say. Because there's a lot. I wanted to include different cultures as well. So one of those floating islands, just to give you an idea, is Azteca. And I'll leave it there.
Okay. I understand. All right. Is there anything else you want to share with us? I put up where you can support this project.
Yeah.
It's in the chat, and it's a Kickstarter. So if you want to support it, which I will be, definitely. I already was going to do that when I heard about this prior to us speaking tonight. I love graphic novels, and this is some beautiful art, and the story sounds really amazing and intriguing. And this is where you can support this project here on Kickstarter. I think you like maybe a fourth through,
Yeah,
or
like a third of the way,
maybe a third of the way there.
almost a third. Yeah, third.
So definitely all the cool nerds on the panel, we definitely gonna support you. And I would hope that, people who are interested in this, who are watching out there, who watch the replay, the link is in there. I'm gonna post it again. I'm gonna post it on my Facebook so we can, support one another in this nerd space of ours, because reading is good for us. You know what I mean? I always like to put a comic book in a child's hand because it's something that they maybe can relate to, that make them want to read. And we know reading stimulates your mind. Reading slows down all kinds of things like Alzheimer's and dementia and things of that, because you need to exercise your brain continuously, just like we do our bodies. And so this feels like a very good read. And I love the actual physical books. Even when I study, I like to feel those pages in my hand. Some people collect books to collect dust and to look pretty on a shelf. But and it's cool for it to look pretty on the shelf. But let me pull you up so you can show that.
Yeah. So in volume 1, there's 5 books. So this is volume 1, book 1. And everything you just saw there, you will read and hear. And then, as I said, this is a franchise, and I'm happy we've got Damon aboard, because there's going to be a graphic novel for each of the 5 books in volume 1. And so here's the first graphic novel for that one. Okay, this goes here, which matches with this. Okay.
Okay. So explain that one more time.
All right. So
the larger book is the graphic novel.
So, yeah, the larger book. So here's all 5 novels here. So here's volume 1, book 1 right here. Okay.
Okay.
This is the Ancient Blood. Okay. So the Orisha are part of the Ancient Blood. All right. This is the princess you see here. Okay. Obviously, you've got volume 2, book 2, book 3, 4, and 5. So what you then see is you'll see volume 1, book 1 of the graphic novel, which coincides directly with this one. And then sooner, hopefully next year or two, we'll have animation and TV and movies as well. And then someone asked about the 4 Kings. Well, if you want to learn about the 4 Kings, they're in volume 2, book 1, The Sacred Blood, about the second sister, the second princess that was saved.
Nice. Okay, so when you support the Kickstarter, what are you getting when you support that right at the gate?
So some things you're getting this graphic novel, this cover that Damon did. Okay. We have 2 additional.
That's beautiful too, man. That is a beautiful cover.
Yeah, he wouldn't tell me about it either, because I was calling him and bugging him, asking him, like, is it done yet? So, but this is the cover that he did, and it shows 3 of the 4 queens and Nodus, and Sahael in the background burning. And then our letterer was Jess Havoc. She did all the lettering.
Excellent.
So that's one thing you'll get. And then not only that, you'll also get, volume 1, book 1 as well. And then obviously we have additional tiers as well, where, we've got the maps, the scrolls and everything. And there's one where it comes in a box like this, where you've got, Alkevion Sahael here.
What is that made of?
This is made of real wood.
Oh man, that's really, really.
And then you can open it up. You've got the color. We like the color. You've got blue. So for the first 5, the blue matches the eye color for the first tribe. Obviously, it'll be green and so on. And then when you open this up, let me show you. You've got the scrolls, because when you read the book, you'll hear about the scrolls and the maps, right? So when you open it up, and here's what it's going to look like.
Oh, that's cool, man. That is really cool.
So the thing you'll like this Nibiru wall right here, or the Nibiru that created the Nibiru wall that separates the world and the world of art, the 2. And when we get into it, you'll learn more about that.
Nice. That's really cool, man. That is really, really awesome. And let us. I mean, because people want to know price. What we paying?
So if you go on the Kickstarter, everything is at a fraction of the cost because again, we want people. We want to get these stories into the hands of the community. So obviously, these prices are not up yet because we want the community to have who support the Kickstarter to get them at a very reduced rate now before we put the prices up on our website. Same with the maps; they're all there. We have a map guide of all 16 maps with a description of all the maps that they'll have. And that guide is there within the Kickstarter as well. That's not up yet on the website. So now's a good time to get on this stuff now because, and I've told Damon, I've told my team, we're next. We're the next 6-letter word.
Okay, I'm
And just for instance, the graphic novel cover A is $30. Because I'm not sure if all of the pre-sales are out.
So see this.
They're
Like on Amazon. Yeah.
But it started at $30 for the graphic novel, and then you can blend it with the soft cover and the graphic novel and the novel for $40, and then it goes up from there. And then there's other things added at different tiers, but mostly they just transition between soft cover to hard cover. So you'll have several. Yeah, there it is.
There it is, right
there. Yeah, so we can go all the way up to the top package here. That is, let me see. Okay, this is something different right here. Early bird pledge. So this looks like the top package. The $250 pledge with the 16.
The 5 was because Damon's going to do three character sketches of any character you want. Correct?
So right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So and with this, you're getting 3 character sketches of Damon's art or whatever characters you want, and then you're getting the Dirty Sketch commission, 11 by 17 scroll exclusive box set, 11 by 17 scroll. What is that?
That's the map of Ard that I showed you.
Okay. And then the Sahael map quest, then the graphic novel CVR A, B, C, then the soft cover novel, the hardcover novel, the graphic novel PDF, and then the novel PDF.
Correct.
All right.
Or you could just go on the page and read it yourself.
That didn't make sense, but
no, it made perfect sense. Go on the page, read it yourself.
But
that's what works out for you.
That's what we're here for. We're explaining.
No, we want them to go. We want them to click the page.
Of course we do. But if you don't tell them what to click, how to do it, some people don't even know how to use Kickstarter.
No, I click the page and all you do is scroll and it tells you everything you need to know.
Hey, sometimes, fellas, this is a little housekeeping, but this is not for you, but it's for him.
Man, sit your ass down.
Kiss my grits. How about that? Okay. And you can kiss my grits. How about that?
Oh man, shout out to Dante who's not here right now. But y'all support this, man. Right there on Kickstarter, different levels to support, and great art. And tonight I got to go to work, so I'm gonna let you guys close us out with final words, thoughts on this book. First starting with Dwayne, then Damon, or whatever order you guys want to go in. This show was about you guys tonight, and we appreciate the idea that you have put together here, and this collaboration, this I don't know if this could be called Mike and Scotty, Batman and Robin. I don't know.
Go ahead, Damon.
Mike and Scotty, the best duo in the history of sports. Better go somewhere. Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead, Damon. I'll defer to you.
Thank you guys for having us, and just say that folks, get out there and check this out. It's a really special project, and the is one of the reasons why I got involved. And for those who know, if you know, you know, I swore off sequentials 14 years ago. I swore off doing any commissions or side projects, but here I am, and it's because this project is next level and is offering something that is sorely underappreciated and undermanaged, and particularly in this space. So when you talk about diaspora, here it is. This is our displacement, but we're going to bring it home with this. And so check out the Kickstarter and show your support. It's a nominal fee, but there's tons of great stuff on the Kickstarter, and it's setting up purpose. And I believe that'll resonate with folks once they get into the book.
Awesome.
And I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, for having us here. And, again, to see this become a reality, when I first saw the drawings, brought tears to my eyes, because it's something that was contained within from a very young age. But to see something that is come to light from when you were a little kid, from when you dreamed it to seeing it exactly how you envisioned it, that's nothing short of humbling. And again, I think there's a purpose why it worked out the way it did. And, again, thank you. It's our history told in a way in which is very digestible for everyone to learn and have our depth. So I'll leave that with you. Please support our Kickstarter, because we're not, Sahael is not going anywhere, but we would definitely love to have the community behind it as it grows.
Amen to that. All right, man. And for my guys, man, the KooLNerdz, I'm gonna go with Jomo, man. Any thoughts that you have for us before we get up out of here?
Man, I could do a whole show on behind this one, but let me just say the scrolls are genius. I get it. I believe it or not, I teach history. So from all kind of standpoints, and these guys will tell you that. But I'll just save my comments for whenever we have another conversation. But I will be supporting this. I will be.
Before we get out of here, Jomo, could you do me a favor? Because we talked about an astronaut in this novel, coincidentally. If you can do us a favor and pan your camera over and show us something real quick, I just want to see that real fast. If you can do that for us.
I can get this up and rolling real quick.
Yeah, Jomo just drove all the way out to Collector Zone, and he picked up something. So let's see if he can get his stuff together and bring us something. And while he's doing that, DJ Hercules, man, I want to get your thoughts.
Then put me on the screen, brother. Put me on the screen.
All right, man. We're gonna put this man on the screen. Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ.
They came here to see me anyway.
Yeah.
So, as your personal hero, I would like to say I really think that we should all go out and support these brothers. If you go to the website, you'll see no donation is too small. Help this brother. You know what I mean? I think this is something that we should really support. I'm excited about it. I am going to support it myself. The more you give, the more you get. You can't ask for nothing better than that. You know what I'm saying? I love the concept. I love the art. You know what I'm saying? So, man, you can't go wrong. So the link is in the comment box.
Amen.
Click it.
And there we have this astronaut by Blissway. And
Okay.
Jomo drove out to Collector Zone to pick this piece up for Marcos. Shout out to Marcos for letting this one go. This was a big hit when we went to Statue Con, and he was able to add this to his collection. Definitely happy for you, brother.
Yeah, I got one question for you, Mo, though, Jomo.
Yes, sir.
Did you go to that spot we ate at while you was out there?
Yes, sir. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. And your last words, man. Thoughts?
First and foremost, it's a blessing to hear the words on these two inspirational people. We greatly appreciate what is the driving force behind it. Thank you for giving such background info to it. Definitely, we should all support these guys because, in all honesty, and this is from my own personal experience, I know Damon Bowie on a personal level. He is a true man of God, and if he's in on this project has to be fire. So trust me on this. It's an amazing from listening. Just me. I'm one. I like to listen and pay attention first, and for me, it's very inspirational. And I'm looking forward to get into this novel and read in on it. And just like DJ Herc says, hey man, come on, support these guys. Go in the chat, go on where he posted it, click on that Kickstarter and check it out yourselves.
Indeed.
Thank you, brother.
And
Hey, Fatal, make sure you put that in the regular comment section too, not just the live section.
I did put it in. I did. This is actually on YouTube. I didn't comment in our comment section. I commented on YouTube. But when the show ends,
that's what I mean. Make sure it's in the comment in the actual. Because once it's over with.
Yeah. I'm gonna repost that. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So it's that time of the show.
Oh Lord. Here we
go. Lord.
It's that time of the show. You know how we do. You know how I do. And haters gonna hate, but it is.
Teddy Petter ass.
Yeah. It's time. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, it's your man Fatal. This has been KooLNerdz Lounge, episode 64. We getting up there, y'all. And as you can see, the channel, Fatal the Collector, has reached over 10,000 subscribers. And I said that I was going to make some changes to the channel. Now, tonight's show is just one of those small indicators of some of the slight changes. Although I love collecting, and I collect a lot of statues and, 6-scale figures and all things, but I also love pop culture and all things pop culture. We're not KooLNerdz just because we collect. We're KooLNerdz because the things that we collect are inspired by graphic novels, comic books. As you know, I like to cosplay. I like to mentor children through this genre of pop culture to steer them away from violence and certain types of communities, the type of communities that I grew up in. So this is an all-encompassing thing. So we're not going to always talk about just statue collecting, because statue collecting wouldn't exist without these genres, without these graphic novels, without comic books, without the brainchild behind the idea that bring these characters to light in the first place. So on KooLNerdz Lounge, we'll be seeing a lot of more different things. We'll still talk about statues. That's fun and that's fine and dandy. But what brought us to this situation in the first place? Why are we here? So we want to broaden the horizon, so to speak. Pop culture based. We're going to be talking about a lot of things on this channel, because I don't want to be just bored talking about statues all the time. And the one thing about statues, they cost a lot of money, and a lot of us that watch this channel can't even afford it. So why are we always talking about the same thing? So that's to me what I mean by some slight change. Maybe sometimes the numbers will fall because some people only want to tune in to talk about that specific things, but then we'll grow our audience to people who want to talk about the specifics of comic books and characters. You know, we're not alienating one thing for another, but we just broadening the things because we like to talk about a lot of different stuff. You know, with that being said, we are gracious to have Dwayne on the show and Damon on the show. We are looking forward to purchasing and reading this graphic novel, Sahael, and all of the beauty of this and the characters and the artwork, the story that was written by a man since he was 16 years old, who sits 43, and to get to bring it to fruition now today. This is a lot of input that was in his brain. It's like boom, and it's here now. And we get to see all the blood, the sweat, the tears that went into this project, and we are happy for you. And we will here at the KooLNerdz support you, my brother, with that artwork from Damon Bowie. He's gonna bring your story to life, you know. And I'm pretty sure when you met him, you was like, ooh, like a little kid like me. And you know, that's why when people see this artwork, they be like, can you give me a discount? How much was it? I'm like, it don't work like that. I said, I didn't even get no discount. I paid what I was supposed to pay, and I had to plead with my man to do it, just like you did, and we appreciate him for it. But this is a friendship that we've created, a bond that we've created over the years. So I appreciate him as well for introducing us to you, bringing you on the show, and we can't wait. We can't wait. Everybody in the chat, man, we love you. God bless. And we're going to leave you with one of my favorite memes, which is hilarious, and I never get tired of it.
Here we go.
Sexy, easy as 1, 2, 3. Just let your soul go. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul go, baby. Feeling oh so silky smooth. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul go.
Peace out, y'all.